Hey, what is up? It is DTM. I just wanted to connect with everybody. I posted a green juice video. I haven't really looked at the comments yet. I will later. Um, but I just wanted to say hi. And although I am planning on making some videos tomorrow on Thanksgiving, several actually, because I want to make my turkey burger and I want to do a hot chocolate also, and I think I had another one planned. But anyways, what I should be doing is making like 3 videos a day, but I haven't really been able to do that. I was making some videos with my family when I was up in Washington. I cruised down here to SoCal. I got my LA hat on just so I fit in. I'm just staying with a friend right now, just trying to figure out what's going on. And then, she's got a juicer and she's letting me stay on the floor and a nice shower. And so then I took the green juice and a clean place to sleep. I mean, I was camping, which is kind of my preference, believe it or not, but I can't really, where I was staying with the camping, staying with my family, by the way, was absolutely epic. I went to see my granddaughter on her birthday. That's the night we went out and made all those crazy videos. And the cute lady was my ex-wife. FYI, I've kept her off the videos for 17 years. Of course, she got a hold of me. Take that one down. I look terrible. That's her thing. But she's actually very beautiful and a very good lady, and she did an amazing job raising those kids. And now it's just a really good family, and they make me feel at home the most. The only problem is that I get a little down with the gray weather. I don't mind it for a couple of weeks, get wet, go out in the snow, get cold, But then after a few months, it's like, oh, I stay at McDonald's, I'm kind of depressed. But there is really good food there, at least up until about towards, this mid to the end of December. There's a couple months in January and February where the markets are really slim pickings. But like I said, like right now, Asian pears and apples coming off the trees everywhere. And so it's like, I mean, what more do you need? I mean, I truly believe in a nice diversity. I don't believe in food police. This is all just my own personal wisdom, because people get more stressed out about the food, and that's way worse than the food itself. So obviously I'm going to always, I think one rule of thumb, which I've been able to stick to for about like 30 years, and that's kind of the thing that's really helped me the most, is just eat real food. It's like a rule. And when I say that, I mean just like, now it's not like I don't take some, soaked and sprouted almonds, but that's like a 1 ingredient food, or some soaked and sprouted pumpkin seeds. I believe in nuts and seeds, especially for men, because the fruit is the feminine aspect of nature, and the nuts and seeds are the masculine. So it's like, why don't you try to keep a little bit of balance with all this stuff, kids? And so I've learned from Dr. Morse, but some people are like, Dr. Morse, it's my religion, okay? But I know Dr. Morse pretty well, and yes, you do the fruit thing, but at a certain point, you need to balance out your life, and I have amazing mentors, and my best friend Tavis, he's like a master healer who goes around, he cannot keep up with these people. They're like, I'll give you stacks and stacks and stacks, and he's like, I don't have time, I barely even see my own best friend anymore. He's just so busy, and he loves what he does, and so but he's very in demand because he's just, really, really on point. That's not really my destiny, what he does. This is more my thing. Like, I do good at the videos, and I reach a lot of people that way. He does one person at a time, bailing out the ocean with a thimble, and I get out there and I, get a chance to learn from him, and he talks to me, and he tells me about all his clients. Same thing with Lou, who's also another mentor, and he's got his thing. And then actually Tavis, he recommends, he won't even work with people unless they take the Pyridine. Because what happened with Tavis on the Pyridine is I think it was like it was either his birthday or Christmas or something, and I gave him a bag of the protein. Well, a couple weeks later, he's like, "You got any more of that stuff?" Like he was some kind of crack fiend or something. I was like, "Bro, what's up?" He's like, "That stuff is so pure, so natural. It's got me just feeling pumped." I'm like, "Word, that's what those 22 amino acids do." And I know that, like, this is my philosophy lately, is like, oh, the anti-protein people, not my thing. I love amino acids, you know. Anti-fat people, I'm like, bro, I love fat. It's amazing, especially for women. Hello, you know. And you know, and then there's the anti-carb people. No carbs of any kind. I'm like, okay, I love carbs, but it's, imagine this: if you actually eat real food, then carbs, proteins, and fats are good. But if you're eating all this weird stuff, you know, and then, you know, bread in Europe is different than bread in America, you know, and everybody knows that. You know, why is it? You know, and then we think about all the little things about how our food supply has more chemicals than Europe. Europe's got their fair share of chemicals. China has a lot of chemicals. American food also has a lot of chemicals. You know, Thailand or whatever. It's like there's a lot of chemicals in the food, but then you come here to America, where I'm from, and you go up and down the West Coast, breakfast, by the way, you go up and down the West Coast, you know where the co-ops are, where all the down-home hippie farmers are growing dirty, dank food. Yeah, there's only 7 heads of lettuce, so you better grab a few of them because there's not that many. It's not a commercial monocrop operation, California organic farms, which is fine in a pinch if you need it. They grow good fennel and decent kale, which isn't my favorite food. There is some truth to the oxalates for sure. It's not as big of a deal as they make it because the microbiology actually can help transform the oxalates, you know, but you have to have the gut bacteria for that. So everyone's arguing and stuff, but you have to figure out what your gut bacteria is. What I did was I just made my gut super diverse, super strong. Like, give me a 2x4, I'll show you. I'll poop it out tomorrow. Sawdust comes out. That's what happens with the green juice, the raw foods, and the pyridine. My gut is an incineration machine. And I'm really grateful for the virility that I've got. So use your imagination as to what I mean of that. It's like I can feel the vigorousness coursing through my body. I had a great workout today for the first time, and probably since I left Hawaii, just because I lost my house over there, and that was about 2 months ago, almost 2 months, and I just kind of wandered around Kauai for a little while, and I was like, you know what, I'll just go visit my family. And then I got sucked into this whole vortex, and I've literally been up and down the West Coast 3 times. Here, I went from Arizona to Washington, then back, and then back up, and then back up, and then back. Now I'm bam. So this is the 3rd trip in the last, what has it been? It's been 7 weeks since I left Kauai, where I still have a truck, and I still have one truckload of stuff, and I have an amazing friend. I hope she's watching this video, and I will say that I love you to my friend Angel, who is an amazing person. And I'm very grateful for what you've done for me all these years, and I do miss you. I've been so busy though, trying to keep up with consults and stuff, but I do plan on calling you in the next short amount of time. And so now I'm kind of living in someone else's house, so I'm just way humble. I gotta leave to go do my consults, but I feel bad because I missed a couple of consults just being out on the road and just not having service. And then before I went on this tangent, I was out camping, and that was kind of my favorite, but there's no service, you know. And so I'm kind of trying to find what's next. I've been praying every day for God to show me what is next, where I'm supposed to go and what I'm supposed to do. But I do enjoy these videos, and I do enjoy Pyridime. I'm so grateful for them. I just talked to Dave and Lou on a double call. We just laugh. It's a family. They've been doing this for 40 years. I've been doing enzymes for 27 years. Lou's been doing it for 40, and the family's been doing it for 40. So in other words, Mr. Anonymous enzyme guy, you know, because you have to keep it quiet, because the FDA and the pharmaceuticals, they do not want the world to know about food enzymes, and they don't want you to know about these therapeutic enzymes either, because it's going to put them out of business, you know. And so you have to really be cool. Like, they got it down over there. I'm just this goofy ass influencer that works as an affiliate. I just so happen to be, you know, there in the very beginning, and I've been working with them in this capacity for probably 15 years ago. I met Lou, who, you know, I've been talking to Lou every day. It's pretty cool. We're trying to get together to make a video. His schedule's crazy. My life is crazy right now. Hopefully we can get together and make a video, but either way, all we do is just laugh. It's just hilarious. The whole thing is just crazy, but it's just fun. And so I was talking to Mr. Anonymous enzyme guy, because he can't have anybody knowing who he is or anything, because he's just working. What he's doing is he's formulating for 30 companies, and what he's hoping for is that we can get around to where Lou and I and the other affiliates, it's just Lou and I are the top, you know, affiliates for the Paradigm. And if we can, you know, right now we're a little bit of a humongous $60 billion market. And we do have the best, because the intention of Paradigm is off the charts, and the science behind it is incredible. It's been around for a long time, but it's just, these things take a long time to catch on. And I don't know for what reason people don't understand the enzymes in food. They don't understand the enzymes in their body. They don't understand the enzymes as biocatalysts, which are basically spark plugs of life. Life isn't possible without enzymes. And then once the enzyme potential is diminished, all living organisms die. So it's an enzyme game, you know. And that's why when you eat moderately, you live longer. It's never really been about, does he smoke, does he drink, but really a person's longevity and health is associated more with the volume of food, not so much the type, but the volume, because the more you eat, the more enzymes get depleted from the digestive end of the pancreas and the liver, which then just diminishes the metabolic potential, which is used for growth and happiness and brain and all the other functions in the body. So as soon as you start eating as much as we do in our society, you might make it to about 28, maybe 35, and then it's just downhill from there unless you can moderate. And it is literally like 3:30, 3:37 in the afternoon, and this is my breakfast, you know. And so I am living more off of love, living more off of surrender, living more off of meditation, living more off of semen retention, living more off of peace, because the more stressed you are, the hungrier you get. And the more acidic your stomach is, the earlier you need to eat in the day to dissuade the bubbly stomach, which is not hunger. You know, now it's like I've been out in the sun all day doing consults, and I went to the gym for the first time. Praise the Lord. I'm like, this is what I'm going to do with all this testosterone is I'm going to go and get jacked. You know, I was at the gym and I was just like, I am going to get jacked, because I don't have anything else to do right now. So I just got to get settled somewhere, find a gym, take my raw foods, blast the enzymes, blast the Paradigm natural protein, and just lift like a monster. Anyways, I'm stoked. This is the herbal blood, baby. Can you dig it? Enzyme activated bitter herbs, okay? For the people with the skin problems and stuff, you know, because the skin problems are usually associated with undigested carbohydrates. Then all those different funguses and stuff of all types, they bury themselves in all these biofilms throughout the body. And you need to flush them out and get them to kill those suckers, you know? So, because they are the ones that are eating all the undigested carbohydrates due to the lack of amylase and proper digestibility, and then the residues left over from all the starchy carbs, and then the microorganisms living on there. And it's not the microorganisms themselves, but you've heard me say this before, it's their poop. And that's where you get all the dandruff and the eczema and the other issues with your skin. Lemon ginger blast. A real kick. I put 2 jalapenos. I did 3 videos yesterday. I only posted 1. I'm going to review the other 2 because I thought they all 3 sucked, and then this morning I got up and I said, well, the last one seemed like it had the most potential. And I think I watched it and I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. Least inspiring. I get up here and scream at you, hey, you losers, you know. It's like, yeah, this guy's crazy, but maybe I should drink some green juice and see what happens, you know. And it's just good information because I truly believe that I'm truly blessed, you know. And it isn't like I've done any specific things. Like, how do you identify? It's like, well, I identify as a, you know, just be as conscious as you can and don't sweat the small stuff. Don't you label yourself as something? I'm like, whatever, you know, not really. I don't identify as any of that. I'm just being. And that's what's really saved my lily white butt. It wasn't the food, it wasn't anything. It was just like letting go, relaxing, not being so uptight about everything. I used to be afraid of food. Now I could just grub. And I'm like, this body is going to absorb this, utilize it, assimilate it, and eliminate it. You know, and I just tell my body what to do. And I don't say, oh my God, this is 2.7 nanograms of fat too high. I'm like, fat is amazing. Carbohydrates are amazing, and amino acids are amazing. Just make sure it's pure, wholesome food without chemicals, additives, and preservatives, and you'll do a lot better. You'll be more satisfied. And of course, you know, the dysbiosis can throw you off too. That's why like green juice is good, enzymes are good, the probiotics are good, the herbs are good, and fresh, wholesome food with a lot of space. So some fasting in the day and just making sure you're staying hydrated and flushing all the waste out of there, you know, so that it doesn't build up and build up. And then you just don't judge yourself for whatever your thing is. You don't need to apologize to anyone for not being perfect with your diet, you know. There is a time for like dry fasting and water fasting. And then there's a time for juice fasting. There's a time for fruit diets. But then there's also a time to eat, to enjoy, to nourish. And it's kind of like in nature, if there's a, you know, if there is a shortage of calories, which I hate the calorie model. Well, I don't hate, that's a strong word. I just, you know, it's 1700s French biology. It's like, it's kind of old school. It doesn't really work because, you know, one person, they pig out, they get fat. Another person pigs out, they almost get skinny. Somewhere in the middle is really high absorption and kind of perfect prototype of your light body, if you will. But that has to do with like every aspect of your life. And that's why the higher consciousness is good. Instead of like turning food into a mathematical equation, you're looking at health very holistically. You're like, am I a dick? Maybe I shouldn't be such a dick, because that'll really make you unhealthy. Like, I'm pissed off at these people. It's like, that's killing you, you know? That's why you got to forgive everybody, let go, don't police anyone, don't even police yourself, just be a witness. You're like, wow, Piggy, you seem to be overeating too much. Why do you do that? Then you can have your revelations. Once you have the experience, mental information, it's okay. It can get you moving in that direction and give you like a, like a context for your experiment of your own self. And then you're like, okay, wow, it turns out if I eat too much fat, I don't feel well or whatever. But then other times it's like, wow, I just ate a lot of avocados and I actually feel really good. And you have to look at your mind, and you can have your own experience through your own awareness and come up with your own conclusions and your own revelations. And then when you have those revelations, they're yours. And then you're convicted. And then it isn't some influencer A or influencer B or influencer C and all this information you've taken in and everyone's confused. Like, how dare you? It's 1.2 gigawatts, too much fat, too much protein. You're not getting enough carbs. It's like, dude, you're living in your head, man. you're swimming in a sea of confusion. I'm just coming down to my heart. It's all going to be good. I'm going to enjoy this trip, and then I'm going to die. But in the meantime, to be honest with you also, because there's multiple levels happening all the time. I mean, this whole thing is like, there's so many levels happening at one time that you say something like that, and it's like, yes, but Dan McDonald does care about the meat suit. Because he wants to feel good, he wants to look good, he wants to do a good job on here, and he wants to have energy. So he's going to take care of the meat suit. But then there's another sage that's like, it's all going to be gone soon anyway, so there's no point in stressing. Like if you go off your little program a teeny tiny bit or whatever, it's like, then the stress is way worse than just the donut or which, I use that example, but I was talking to my friend and she's like, I had a donut like 5 years ago, vegan donut. And I'm like, whatever. And it's just now it's kind of a running joke between us, but I'm like, man, I haven't had a donut in like 30 years or something. And good old Maple Bar. That was your boy's favorite. I didn't really, the creams and the jellies and the sprinkles and all that, but man, you give me a Maple Bar, boy, at the soccer game, after a soccer game, you know what I'm saying? I haven't had a donut in like 30 years or something. Don't you miss donuts? It's like, I'll eat a Maple Bar and a large pepperoni pizza about 3 or 4 days before I leave this place. Maybe a few other things too. Anyhow, but for now, I'm gonna do the green juice and I'm going out to my Thanksgiving dinner tonight, pretty soon. We're doing Thanksgiving tonight. And then tomorrow we're just gonna stay home. And I was like, well, I'll just film some videos and I'll make my little turkey burger that I've had every year made out of sunflower seeds. I hope I can get those videos to work out, or I kind of gotta just work with the vibe around here. But my friend, she really understands. Like, she's not really an influencer. She kind of has been a little bit in the past, but a lot of her friends are influencers and she get it. It's like the kitchen and the filming, it's your trip, it's how you, I would say bread and butter, but you got to say apples and oranges in this case, you know what I'm saying? So it's been really good like that, because I just wanted to make a bunch of videos before I get back on the road again, and God knows where I'm going to end up, because like I said, when I was camping, that was absolutely epic. But I have had a lot of consults, and where I was camping, which is one of my favorite places on earth, right next to the spring. By the way, I set my tarp up right this time and I didn't get soaking wet. So I had to work on I really got to go work on my bushcraft skills, but then if I do that, the video show stops, and I do really enjoy this. And of course, I'm trying to get myself up again so I can like find a place to live, and I'd like to have a nice house with a kitchen like this, And then maybe I'd also like to have an extra bedroom or two to invite people over and like, hey, let's drink a lemon ginger glass, because I have ideas for retreats that are totally different. Everyone goes to retreats and there's activities from like 4 in the morning until midnight. That is not the Dan McDonald retreat, because everyone's exhausted. Even the people that are healthy and aren't exhausted are actually exhausted, because you don't know what it's like till you get out into nature and you're like, and there's none of this, the cars and the beeps and the buzzes and the noise and the social media and the whole thing. Everyone's just like so wrapped up. And if you can just get out to nature and the trees start talking to your heart, you're like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. How did we even get to this insane point where we're just chasing all this car insurance, phone bills, take the kids to soccer practice and violin lessons, and keep up with the Joneses, we're getting behind, hurry, 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 pay your taxes, it's gonna kill you, death and taxes, I mean, it's a lot of stress. I got a lot of, compassion for everybody. It's like, but at the same time, we're not really victims, because we have infinite choice. If you're stuck, you got to find a way to get yourself unstuck, because you can simplify your life. I mean, don't simplify your life like me too much, because then you're living in the back of a Subaru Outback. But then you have great friends. I'm like, look, can I stay for a while? I need a green juice. I'll make the green juice. and I'll blast you with enzymes, you know. And so I just needed a green juice, and I needed to get some good night's sleep, because I sleep good camping, but then I got to leave the camping because I have like a couple consults, and I can't go back to the camping, and then I got to go to this goddamn just infested motel. I was like, I'll save some money, and I was like, my rule now is no more saving money on motel rooms, dude. Just do not go to the Maple Inn. Have you ever heard of it? No, you haven't, but you've heard of the Best Western. So Best Western actually has to wash the sheets, and they have to have like, they can't have like 100 holes in the wall, and the shower head actually has to be intact, you know, and the bathtub can't be this stained up, broken up, disheveled crap hole, you know, where you're looking at this bed and you're like, you know, the sheets are clean, but they're stained. There's some weird writing on there, and it's got the, you know, the plastic thing in case they poop and other people's bodily fluids, God, all kinds of whatever. And you're crunching on the bed with the plastic. I mean, it's like, okay. And then I was like terrorized, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not doing that again. Don't even bother trying to save the 20 or 30 bucks. Just get the Best Western, pay a little more, and have a way better night's sleep, because you cannot levitate. Even though you feel like you want to, you cannot levitate on a bed that's got bed bugs, which there really wasn't. But it felt like if there's any bed bugs, it's in this bed. So I'm like, at least I had my own pillow, you know? So anyhow, I'm terrorized by that. Thank God she said yes. And I'm trying not to be a bother at all. She's like literally the cleanest person on earth. I'm like, I thought I was clean. This chick's following me with a vacuum, and I'm like, she's like trying to train me, use the black thing for the, you know, towels and all this crap. I'm like, Jesus. Anyways, they never thought there'd be a person cleaner than me, but we are talking like OCD. Okay, so I'm like, but I'm getting more like aware and more refined, and trying to make a mess. And you know, if I do, I clean it up and pat up the water. I mean, it's pretty good for me, to be honest with you. By the time I get out of here in a few days, it's gonna be like, I'm gonna be like a ninja, like Mr. Clean. Like, I mean, we're talking about wiping your feet with a baby wipe when you come in from the door. It's like, okay, wow, what did I get myself into? But at least the bed is super clean and it's quiet. I mean, sorry about the dryer or the washer right now. Actually, I should apologize at the beginning, but I just wanted to catch up with everybody. Say happy Thanksgiving. In case whatever the videos tomorrow don't work out, or something goes haywire, I've got a consult in the morning. I've got consults coming up all week. If you need a consult, get a hold of me, trueratinghealth@gmail.com. That's the one thing that's been keeping me afloat, and I really appreciate it, because I think even some of the people, they were like, you know what, I've been wanting to get a consult with Dan forever. I can see he's kind of got something going on right now. I'm just going to do it now. And they just, you know, it's not like an emergency or anything like that. They just have a few questions. They pay me for a consult, and the consults have kept me, you know, going with food and motel rooms and campsites and stuff like that. So I'm very, very grateful for this whole thing. I'm not struggling or anything like that. I got great friends, and like 100 people wrote to me and said I have a place to stay. It's just that, you know, I've known my friend for a long time. I didn't know she was this clean though. She's like really clean, and it's good. But I feel safe here. You know, I don't want to have to go through the process of getting to know somebody or something, you know, and that's long and awkward process, whatever. I mean, this is already awkward enough, and I've known her for like 15 years, so, you know. Nothing better than the lemon ginger blast. There's nothing better than fresh green juice. And then just in like about an hour and a half, I'm gonna go order some Olok. So my eating window is like 3 or 4 hours in a day. But I just love taking the Paradigm, and I'm gonna do a video, because everyone's like, what's the Lifetime, Pure Life, what's the damn difference? I gotta get very explicit about each individual, you know, formula. The cleanse, the herbal blood, the Pure Enzyme, the Lifetime, the Pure Life, the Life Biotic, because when you soak and sprout and culture your nuts and seeds and stuff, they digest as easily as fruit. They're like pre-digest, and then the probiotics just keep everything just clean and shiny. They keep your gums and teeth healthy. It's a really good system. I mean, Lou is on point, and this goes way back from the very beginning. He did all the fasting, he did the raw foods, and then he was introduced to the enzymes, and then it just blew his cap, you know, and then he read enzyme nutrition, and then it just, ever since then, he's just been on the whole, he's got the whole trip, man. He's got a bunch of other cool stuff that he does, because people are like, oh, don't use supplements. It's like Tavis uses hella supplements to fortify, you know, because there's deficiencies and excesses, and somewhere in the middle. And so I'm more of like, hey man, keep your mind open. The world is a zoo. The food sucks. And so people are living in this like, oh, it's eat the paradise diet of Costco, hybridized seedless Costco fruit. It's all you need. Dan McDonald and all these other people are scumbag losers. And I'm like, well, I'm healthier than you are, you know? Anyways, I don't even want to allude to any of that stuff. People can hate me all they want. I got nothing but love. I got my own program. I'm hella balanced. I'm healthier than a horse, you know? And I feel good. I feel blessed. And, you know, I'm not one of the guys that's like, I have all the right answers. It's like, I'm still on my, you know, journey of exploration and discovery. And I like what I do, but it doesn't mean it's the be all end all. But the one thing that is the be all end all is like, you gotta relax. You gotta let go. You can't be so up in your head. And that's what we have with social media, with religion, politics, Facebook, fight book, I call it. You know, and I just don't, I'm not even over there anymore. I will post over there, you know, but it's like, I don't want to fight you. I don't care what you eat. I don't care what anyone eats, man. I'm just trying to say like, yo, if you drink a green juice and blast some enzymes, your game is going to change. And it doesn't matter what any of these people say. They are wrong, because I know it's true. If you drink the green juice and blast the enzymes, your game is going to change. And I don't care about no puritanical, perfect people that, honestly, they're still overweight after all these years of being raw. You need enzymes, and you need fasting, and you need a full, more holistic approach. Colon cleansing, herbal cleansing of the small colon or the small intestine, and just learning how to get your game. I mean, my mind is wide open because I've had epic mentors, and I've kept my mind open, and I have continued to learn and experiment. And I am stoked. I feel really, really good. I know everyone says that. They're like, I ate this diet and I felt amazing, until the one day that actually I felt like crap the whole time I was doing that last program, and now I feel amazing. And then they go on to the next thing and it's amazing. And I dig it, but my concept has really been like, I've really resonated with the raw food concept, you know? I'm not against cooked food. I'm not against frozen food. I said that in the last video. I'm not against anything, you know? I just think that for me, what I've found is the raw food gives me more energy, more natural energy. And then you introduce some cooked food and you're like, boom, boom, bump, boom, boom. You're like, whoa, okay, that's a real thing. Which, okay, every once in a while, you know what I'm saying? But on a daily basis, boo, little bit of energy after some sleep, you wake up in the morning, you have your coffee, then, you know, but it's like, you know, you just want to be just chill. But the real energy is the vital force that comes from those easily digestible, pre-digested food. That's why it's like juicing. It's like already pre-digested, you know, and then you make a smoothie and it's like you throw a little bit of probiotics in there, and then that's like, then that digests it for you, you know, and you soak and sprout everything, and then you culturize everything with the probiotics, and everything's pre-digested, and it's like, that way you're saving your enzyme reserves for a longer, healthier life with more energy and better hair and better skin and better eyes and better heartbeats and better thoughts. Because every single thing, every 10 trillion biological occurrences that happen within your living organism on a daily basis are all activated by enzymes, which are the biological catalysts for every single substrate that needs to communicate to either be broken down or brought together. They're just little tiny spark plug keys that allow for communication and for substrates to bind together or to be broken apart. And you need to break things apart, and then you need to be able to build them back up, and that's enzymes. So obviously with the digestive enzymes, that is going to break down the food, which will save you on your metabolic enzymes, which is where you start to get tired, you start to get overweight, you start to lose your eyesight, you start to lose your hearing, you start to lose your hair, your nails don't grow as fast, your reproductive organs don't work as well, and your digestion slows down. And so digestive and metabolic enzyme activity for the hundreds of trillions of metabolic processes that take place, including every single thought that you think, is an enzyme occurrence. And so as soon as you get diminished in your enzyme potential, you're like, I have a lot of thoughts like regenerator. I'm happy. You know, it's just life force energy. I hope everyone's doing good. I guess this is my happy Thanksgiving video, but I'm gonna do a couple more tomorrow. Like I said, I'm gonna aim for it anyways. You can never promise because it's an art. You win some, you lose some. This one seems to have worked pretty well. I'll upload this to the 2 channels, Life Regenerator channel, Dan McDonald channel. They're both going well. I'm collecting Google AdSense from both. Things might go great. They're going well. I mean, it's double, and what I really need to do is be doing like 3 videos a day, but I gotta find somewhere where I've got Wi-Fi, maybe a kitchen, and then I can just get pumping on some recipes and doing my thing like I've always done. And I think like 3 videos a day would allow me to get the Google AdSense up there, almost to the point where I'd be making like a living. Now they cut me way down, and they have a social credit score, and I'm not gonna, you know, they're just not gonna let a guy like me take off in the algorithms, you know, and that's totally fine. You know, we've got each other. It's a small little thing, but I'm super blessed because I have a great relationship with people that really have been with me for like 17 years. So they know me and they appreciate me and they trust me and they think I'm worth being protected or something. So that's why they're like, hey, I want a console. I just want to support you. That's not what I'm asking for or anything like that. I really do love to help people, and I'm good at it. Like, everyone's at a different place. That's why individual consultations are really cool, because it tests your skills and it gives you, it's deep and you can really ask questions. I've learned to listen by doing consults, you know, really listen to what they're saying so I can figure out what the heck is going on at a deeper level. It's never what the people think it is. It's always something deeper, deeper, deeper. And when you can get that deeper stuff worked out between you and God, you know what I'm saying? Until you're like, you're just letting God just flow through you. You're like, I'm not this or that. That's okay. That's okay. It's all okay. It's cool. And you're not just like all bound up. Well, that's not acceptable. How dare you? I'm micromanaging the whole world. It's like, that's a lot of stress, man. Let the world just, and we can have discussions about that, but I'm telling you, you're the one that's making up the world, man. So if you got a problem with the world, guess what? You got to change the way you see the world. You know, you got to change your perception of the world and try to understand what this place is. You don't want to change it. This is the perfect world for everyone to get what they need out of it so that we can all grow and evolve. This is a school. Welcome to Earth School, kids. You can either be overweight or you can be hella healthy and stoked, but you have to have, it's, you know, the people are like, I'm not going to change my diet, dude. You know, I get it. I'm one of those people that I'll change whatever. I'll do whatever to have the one thing that we're all searching for. But I'm fortunate enough to have a level of consciousness that's aware of the level of awareness that is, you know, what life is for, what life is, the purpose of life, you know, to realize God or truth. And then once you got that everything else, you know, because it's like, well, let's chase money, that'll make me happy. Okay, that doesn't work. You can't, it'll never work. You'll never drink the living water, and you'll never taste the nectar. Yeah, maybe for brief moments of pleasure, But then pleasure, pain. It has to be. It's the two sides of the coin. But once you transcend those, just with being, the joy of being, the joy of the Lord, you know, is what's said in this house, which is super cute. And I'm totally with it. That's, you know, I'm here in this house, it's the joy of the Lord. And, okay, so there's a Bible somewhere around here, and we read the Bible. And I'm like, okay. You know, and people are, Dan, the Bible or whatever. I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter. The Bible, Swami Sivananda, you know, it's all of it, dude. It's all God to me, and I love it. And there's no type of worshiping I won't do. It doesn't even matter. I'll go to any temple, mosque, church. I'll be right with them. The only place I don't want to be is where people are not worshiping God in some way or another. Those are the people I'm like, okay, cover your butt and zip your wallet and zip the zipper. You know, word of your wallet, because it'll be gone. And other worse stuff, goat sacrifices and all kinds of sky spraying, bloody children and weirdos, like child sacrifices and God knows what, going all the way back to the Aztecs. Actually, Jesus came along and said, yo, you got to quit. And then what happened is some of the kings and the monarchs in Russia were like, okay, no more baby sacrifices. And that's when they were really pissed, you know, because that's what it was back in the day, killing babies. So we've come a long way, kids. They're still doing a lot of weird stuff out there, but I'm with the God people. I'm not with the other people. They're not my thing. I don't want to deal with it. I have a rule, you know, in my life. If you're cool with God, call it Jehovah, Allah, whatever, like, we can roll. It's the people that won't say the word Jesus, won't say the word God, that hate those things. I'm not. I know who you are. I know who you want to work for. I know what team you're on. And I don't do that. I don't do that game. You know what I'm saying? That's just my thing, you know? And it has protected my lily white butt, okay? Like, Jesus is the reason for the season. Can you dig it? Like, without Jesus, I would have been foot. Okay? There were times when I had a 24 case of beer bottles in my car, driving one eye closed. I mean, if it wasn't for Jesus, man, I'd either be in prison or dead, you know? So that dude just gave me enough, you know, just to learn the lessons, but not enough to end up in prison or dead. So praise the Lord, because I had Jesus since I was 4 years old. I'm not a good Christian by the book, and I don't care what anyone says, man. I roll with Jesus, and we got our own personal relationship, and nobody is cramming nothing down my throat. You keep your concepts in your head, I will keep my heart wide open to God's magnificence, and I will be living in the joy of the Lord, if you know what I mean. And I will be stoked with the peace and the love that is ever present, because I'm willing to let go of all of these little hang-ups and all these little attachments and all the little aversions, you know? Attachments and aversions, you know? Attachments, clinging, aversions, you know? But then if you're just chilling, it is neither this nor that. It's just like it flows right off your shoulder. Chilling. That's what this world needs, brothers and sisters. If I need to become a preacher to get that message out there. But for now, let's just talk about green juice, raw foods, sunshine, fresh air. Learn how to go to sleep and learn how to get the sunlight in your eyes so you can reset your circadian biology. But I'm telling you, this city living, it sucks, but I'm telling you, man, you just got to get a good night's sleep, and you got to get all the stress out, and it can take a long time. I had a dark night of the soul and had to slowly climb my way out of the pits of hell, but that was great because you inch your way back towards the light, and then you're like, I don't want to go back there. If you got to go back to the darkness and the pits of hell just to climb back out, and that's what it takes for you to keep growing and evolving, then so be it. I mean, you don't, whatever the Lord gives you, you take, and it's there for your good. Sometimes we don't see it that way, but when you look at the big picture in the long term, you look back and you're like, this dude has been watching me over here. You know, footprints in the sand, like Jesus was carrying my dumb ass. Otherwise, I'd be dead or overdosed. Here's Lou Corona. I gotta go. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Happy Thanksgiving. Peace. God bless.